I'm just going to start by saying this is a great air rifle for the money. It has a nice trigger on it and it's quite accurate. You can get groups that fit under a penny at 15 yards. It also comes with a decent scope that has parallax adjustment. I bought this scope for about $70. It's 3 to 9 power, and it has parallax adjustment and it's adjustable for elevation and windage. I also bought this bipod. Clamps onto the barrel and it folds. The only thing that feels cheap on this rifle is the iron sights. They're made out of cheap plastic and they can break very easily. As you can see, the green fiber optic tubing is cracked. There's also fiber optic tubing on the front sight. The safety on this engages automatically every time you break the barrel. That's the safety. This screw, there's also one on the other side, has to be kept tight because if it's slightly loose the barrel will move whenever the gun is fired and it'll really affect groupings. The scope rails are 3/8 dovetail and this scope I have on here is a 1-inch tube. It also has a stopper and also has holes in it to accept stop pins on the scope mount itself. The scope that comes with it has parallax adjustment. And it's only a 4-power scope, but it's very well built. But I wanted a more powerful scope, so I bought a 3 to 9 power. The only thing I don't like about this scope is the adjustment knobs. They're hard on the fingers, and if you get close to the limit of adjustment, you can't turn them at all. The stock is made out of walnut. It feels very solid. The only thing I don't like about it is there's no raised cheek piece for a scope. And you can still use the scope pretty easily, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. The bluing on this gun on the barrel and the receiver rusts very easily in humid weather. Like you just put a coat of oil on it every day and wipe the rust off. It comes off really well. This is the trigger. It's a soft and pretty light trigger. It has a little bit of soft creep at the first 1/8 of an inch of the pull. Other than that, it's a very smooth trigger. It's a very good trigger for the money. In fact, I've never fired an air rifle of this price range before. That's a better trigger. This rifle cost about $170 including tax. I bought mine at Walmart. I don't know how much it is at any other places. Okay, I'm going to do an accuracy test. This range is about 15 yards. Maybe a little bit less. I'm going to shoot a 4-shot grouping and see how we do. Okay, these are the results. This shot here was just a fluke. This is 2 shots, and up here in the white, that's 2 shots too. So both of those are pretty good groupings, except for this. I was using these Crossman pellets. They're pointed and you get 500 in a package for about 10 bucks. So they're not terribly expensive. They're not premiers, but they're still good enough to get those groupings. If you're going to buy this spring gun or any spring gun, you should pick up some Crosman silicone chamber oil. After the gun, the more you use the gun, the more the lubricant inside the chamber disappears, and eventually your gun will the piston will start to freeze up on you. So, but if you put a couple drops of this in the chamber every 250 to 500 shots, it should stay working just fine. These are my other guns that I plan to do reviews for. They're all bought in retail stores in Canada except for this one and this one. This is a Slavia 624. It's about 35 years old. And this is a Crosman pump action 22 caliber pistol. And it's about just as old. I also have this Umarex CP Sport CO2 powered 8-shot repeater. And it can be bought at Canadian Tire. I also have an Umarex Desert Eagle on its way. I plan to do a review for that too. This is the same gun I just reviewed for with the bipod and scope, but this one has a red dot scope on it and the trigger is slightly harder because it's an older model. Don't ask me why I have two. And this is a Crosman Backpacker 2289G. As far as I know, this gun isn't even made anymore, and I don't know if it's ever been sold in the United States. It's pump action. It takes 10 pumps to give you 450 feet per second. It's bolt action. You have a choice of either using an iron sight or a peep sight. This stock actually also comes off. It can be used as a pistol.